The world can turn on a single breath, a flicker of light you don't see coming. I learned that twice. The first time, I was 29 years old, in Hiroshima, on August 6, 1945. The morning was humid, thick, like breathing a wet blanket. I was at the Mitsubishi shipyard, 3 kilometers from the city's heart, a distance that meant the difference between smoke and shadow. I should have been inside the concrete office hall, but I had overslept. That small, annoying mistake is why I'm alive. I stood by the docks with my colleagues, watching the sky. The all clear had sounded, but the nervous habit of looking up remained. Then we saw it, a single B-29, high and silent, a silver fish swimming in the deep blue. Nishina pointed, squinting. "Just taking pictures again, Mizutani-sen," he said, but something was wrong. No siren, just that high, insistent drone. We watched, silent. From the belly of that plane, a dark, small object detached. It had the lazy, casual fall of a dropped pencil, too slow to be a threat. I thought, a flare. But an ancient, cold instinct screamed at me to hide. I had 3 seconds of that feeling. Then came the light. It was not a sunburst. It was a blinding, silent explosion of pure existence. It swallowed the sky, the sun, and the very air. It was the most terrifyingly beautiful thing I have ever witnessed. It didn't cast a shadow. It burned the shadow onto the world. The heat struck me first, a physical wall, searing my exposed skin, instantly vaporizing the moisture in my eyes. I threw an arm up, a futile gesture against the sun itself. Then the silence, an absolute, terrifying vacuum, as if the world had cracked open and sucked all the noise out. Followed by the roar, a concussive thunderclap that was not just sound, but a physical hammer that shattered my eardrums and threw me through the air like a discarded toy. When I woke, the world was spinning. The air was thick, suffocating, the dust of pulverized concrete and human remains. I pushed up onto my knees. The shipyard was a melted scrapyard. The massive column of smoke, shaped like a colossal, hideous flower, was miles high. The city center was just a flat expanse of ruin. I was burned, but I could walk. I stumbled forward, driven by one thought. Yoko. My wife was in Nagasaki. I had survived the impossible. My duty was to reach her. I flagged a fleeing boat, looking back at the city that was now a scar on the face of the earth. I thought the nightmare was over. I was wrong. The journey south was a blur of fear and exhaustion, walking the railway tracks like a ghost. I carried the burns from the blast, but worse was the knowledge of what I had seen. The destruction was so complete, the scale so terrible, that no one believed my whispers of one bomb, one plane. I rode a southbound freight train for 2 days. The pain in my skin was a constant ache, but the thought of Yoko was a cold steel rod keeping me upright. She was teaching in Nagasaki. We had a pact, survive, and find each other. On August 9th, I finally reached the city. The contrast was jarring. Nagasaki was somber but whole. The houses stood firm. I walked quickly, ignoring the stares of my mottled, peeling face. I found the women's academy intact. The relief that washed over me was intoxicating. A caretaker confirmed she was inside, resting. She'd been delayed by alerts while visiting family in Kakura. Safe. I was giddy with an impossible sense of victory. I had cheated death. I burst into her room. She was sitting on a simple futon, reading. Pale, thin, but whole. Yoko. She rushed to me. I held her tight, burying my face in her hair, inhaling her familiar, real scent that was not ash and smoke. Tears that I hadn't cried over Hiroshima streamed down my face. I survived, my love, I choked out. The sun fell on us, but I found you. I'm here. We sat, planning our escape to the countryside. We packed a small bag. It was over. The universe had used its ultimate weapon, and I had walked away. I was reaching for the door handle to leave when the faint but familiar drone reached my ears. The sound of AB-29. I paused, that paralyzing dread, identical to the one 3 days earlier, shooting through me. I moved to the window. It was high, silver, and alone. Then, the dark, casual shape detached itself. My blood turned to ice. It was the same geometry of dread. Get down, I screamed, shoving Yoko to the floor, shielding her with my body, the agonizing, inevitable truth tearing out of my chest. Not again. And then, for the second time in 72 hours, the world became white. The silence this time was the ringing silence of profound shock. The second flash was less absolute, less complete in its obliteration, shielded by the Nagasaki hills. But the fury of the blast still hammered the school building, shattering the world around us. I pushed up, dizzy, covered in plaster and dust, but alive. Yoko was unharmed, protected by the shield I'd instinctively thrown over her. She was crying, racked with silent sobs. I knew that column rising in the distance. The same cloud, the same bomb. It happened again, I whispered. We have to move. Now. We stumbled out into chaos, but chaos localized. Not the flat, smoking ruin of Hiroshima. We fled south, joining the streams of stunned, injured people. As we walked, I saw the early, terrifying signs. Men vomiting by the road, their skin turning that strange, sickly pallor. I knew this enemy, the silent killer that stalked the survivors. I pulled Yoko forward, driven by a cold, ruthless resolve. I had survived the impossible twice. It wasn't luck, it was a curse. We made it out of the city and traveled for days, resting in small, remote villages until the broadcast began. It was August 15th when the Emperor's voice announced the surrender. The war was over. I felt nothing but emptiness. We had bought our peace with a price too steep to comprehend. We settled far in the countryside, safe from the coast. My burns healed, leaving only pale, faint scars. But the curse found its target. Yoko never fully recovered. The stress, the heat, the terror of those 2 flashes I had dragged her through. She fell ill. Not the sudden, brutal radiation sickness, but a slow, lingering weakness, a constant fever that drained the light from her eyes. The doctors called it the Hibakusha sickness. I lived a long life after that. I was officially recognized as Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the only person confirmed to have survived both atomic bombings. It was a brand, not a title. Every time I looked at Yoko, growing weaker as the years passed, I saw the true cost of my miracle. The flash didn't just burn the skin, it burned the soul. I survived the ultimate weapon twice, but I never truly escaped the shadow of the B-29. The only thing harder than surviving is living with it. If you had survived not one, but 2 world-ending events, how would that knowledge change the way you looked at the future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and hit that subscribe button to ensure these crucial, human stories of survival are never forgotten.